In part 2 of this video, we have talked about the refactoring of the code, right? How we can do that. Now, in this part, we will also see that how we are gonna generate the minimal APIs using the GitHub Copilot, and then we will see how we are gonna use the GitHub Copilot for the debugging help. Means we will leverage on the capabilities of the GitHub Copilot that will help us in doing the code debugging. So again, let me go to the chart over here and let me increase this. Say that generate generate minimal APIs for performing code operations on the employee entity. Right. Make sure that the employee is validated. And let me run this here. Yeah, so the code is getting generated now. So here we do have the employee information, and have a look over here is that whatever that we have asked for the validation, right, that is also been included over here. Okay, so this is the way that how the minimal APIs are gonna help us for generation with the help of the GitHub Copilot. Okay, so that's the nice code here, which has been purely refactored code that we have, right? And then let me say preview and accept it. Well, so that's what the thing is. And now here there is a bit problem that I made, that I have like used accepted the code at wrong place. So let me do Control Z here, and what I'm going to do is that me mark this here, and again going to the Copilot, I'll say preview, correct, and then let me accept it. Hopefully this will be there at the proper place now. Oh, still not. Well, so let me get rid of this whole code. Okay, and then add it there. Copy, paste. Right. So that's what the thing that has been generated over here. Right. So this is the code, right, with all the endpoints. It's here. Right. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go here, and on this employees by ID, this is endpoint, and let me put a breakpoint on that. Okay, I'm doing it, and let me start running this here. Okay, correct, it's running. Let me go to the solution explorer. Well, so here it says that this has been crashed. Okay, so now here this is the exception that has been fired. So I can basically ask the Copilot that, okay, hey Copilot, please explain me. So let me click on this over here. There is a link for the Ask Copilot that exists here. So if you see that here, the add DB context, here it says that it's giving me the argument exception with the details. I can go into more detailing with the Copilot help. So this is going to open that, and then it should show me the details of the error. Right. So here it says that this error happened because does not employee DB context class does not have constructor accepting the DB context options parameter when using add DB context. Right, with the configuration options. The DB context must define such a constructor and pass the option to the base DB class. This means that over here there is some drastic issue into my code. Correct. And here it is also giving us a warning saying that, right, showing potential vulnerabilities. Here it is having, right, some help to us. Okay, so this is the way that if the error occurs, right, runtime exception, we can actually uh, ask for the help to Copilot. Now here it says that if this constructor is already present, verify add DB context called it's correctly configured and no other conflicting registration exists. So let me go back over here and check into my code. So code looks pretty good over here. Okay, but have a look over here is that this your DB connection string. So the connection string registration has to be there. Okay, so that anyways we are going to do that because if you see that in the project, the necessary packages for entity framework core are already been added over there. Right, they are already there for SQL, then design SQL server and all these. If you see that, these are already present in my case. So that's a problem over here. So let me stop this, shift F5, and I'm going to go here to the app settings.json, and then here in app settings.json there is no connection string exist. Well, so let me modify this. So I'll say connection string. I'll say that over here app db con. Okay, and here and then let me go to the db context, and then I'm going to copy the connection string from here from my on configuring method. Well, let me comment out this control KC and let me paste it here. Of course, I like to change over here. So my my database server, I'm going to make a use of the local instance here. Okay, I'll also say trust server certificate is equals to true. Okay, that's it. So this is the way that we can ask the GitHub Copilot for the help in an exception if the exception occurs. So let me copy this. Let me paste it here. Wow. Okay, saving it. So have a look that we generated the minimal endpoints, and then we have understood that there is a runtime error that has occurred, and then hence we have basically asked the Copilot for the help. Okay, now let's run this again. Right. So it says that was called with the configuration, but the context type is only declared the parameterless constructor. So this means that in my context class over here, I do have the parameterless constructor. Yes, so that's a modification that I'll have to do it. So I'm gonna go here into the Copilot. I'll say that generate a parameterized constructor for class in the my employee DB context line that helps in dependency injection of employee DB context class in ASP.NET Core app. And let me run this and let's see what code that is generated. Right, so this is going to understand my prompt here. taking a bit time. And see here that we have DB context options that is generated. Wow. So it has basically given me a appropriate help. Of course, the technology must be known here to get the thing done. So I'm going to copy this constructor from here and paste that code. We can even go for the preview. Okay. So let's build it correct. And again, let's run this. So this is the way that how the help is there with us. Okay. So now let's go back. Right. I'll go to the program.cs. This is running. Let me go to the HTTP file here. And then let me change the API. Sorry, my endpoint. So I'll go to the program.cs and here I say employee slash ID. So here slash 101 and then let me make the request. Okay, now that's here. Now I can basically right click on this. Okay, here like the endpoint is already been put here. Right, I can right click on my debug breakpoint and I can go to ask Copilot and here I'll say that can you explain, right, what is the use of await context dot employees dot find async id. Okay, and then I'm pressing enter. Okay, so now it's thinking and then it is gonna provide us the details. So we can even go for an interactive debugging over here. So what is the use of that? So when you are having the code which has been written by somebody else and now you want to understand that code so that you can further maintain it, you can further extend it, change it. So for that you need to keep debugging that code. So GitHub Copilot help you in understanding every debug line here. So here it says that the line await context employees find async is used to retrieve the specific employee entity from database by its primary key ID. It's an asynchronous manner. Okay, and then here it gives us the details of the find async method, detailed of the context dot employees. What is that? It's a DB set, and then it also gives us how it works. Right, that's it. So what else you want? So when you are having the code which is there, which is available with you from somebody else, then GitHub Copilot actually comes to rescue you by providing you the interactive debugging experience. That's what the thing is. So we can ask the GitHub Copilot about an exception and we can even ask the GitHub Copilot about the debugger. That's what the use of it. Okay guys, so please use this GitHub Copilot, explore it more, right? Enjoy coding. Thank you very much.